Denis Sassou Nguesso has ruled Congo for about 5 years since 1979. He ruled the Republic of Congo throughout the 1980s. He sold oil to the French government at well below the market price, and in exchange, Paris made Sassou Nguesso extraordinarily wealthy. In addition to getting weapons from France, he also got weapons from the Soviet Union. So he was, in a way, kind of straddled kind of both the Eastern Bloc and the Western Bloc during the Cold War.
I was living in Paris and I was in a position to do things and knowing people in media in France, and I started a first initiative. For the past decade, I've been studying and investigating kleptocracy and its result, state capture. I founded the Sassoufi Collective. It was based in France, but working on Republic of Congo, Congo-Brazzaville, not to be confused with Democratic Republic of Congo, the big neighbor of my country.
Ce mouvement part justement à la suite du changement de la constitution du Congo-Brazzaville. Une actuelle constitution, le président en place a l'idée de modifier la constitution à ses fins de s'éterniser au pouvoir.
We evolved to being an organization working on kleptocracy issue, doing investigative work and helping other big NGOs to understand what was going on in my home country.
The dictator's name is Sassou Nguesso, so Sassou, and then in French, Sassoufi, that's enough.
C'était une lutte qui était devenue internationale. Nous avons internationalisé la cause congolaise à travers le hashtag Sassoufi.
Andréa got hashtag Sassoufi, which was really a rallying cry. And so Andréa was really the key in kind of creating this kind of decentralized system of activism.
The 9 October 2015, the young people we worked with were protesting in Brazzaville. It was my duty to protest in Paris in solidarity, like mirroring their protest here.
That social media activism helped catalyze a protest movement that resulted in protests of 40,000 people in the streets of Brazzaville. Those are the largest protests that Sassou Nguesso has ever confronted.
So I went to the embassy with paper calling about none to the third mandate, stop the change of the constitution. I've been brutally assaulted at the Congo embassy in Paris. I'm an activist, so I'm prepared for any kind of things, but I was not prepared for such violent reactions. I became a political refugee, a threat to Congo's national security, according to the Attorney General. It's always been a hybrid platform, using, back in the day, Facebook advertising to make the people know what is going on. We in Europe and in the diaspora raise the money, look for partners, look for allies that will go back and help the voice grow bigger.
Because he was so outspoken against the Sassou Nguesso government on French television, he was subject to labor market discrimination, right? And so his employment opportunities in Paris were pretty severely compromised because of the democracy work that he was doing. Anyway, so for all those reasons and more, a few years ago he moved to Canada. And so Andréa has accepted a lot of personal costs for the work that he's done. How does one stitch together a country, where different ethnicities have been pitted against each other, where the Sassou Nguesso government has enriched, one ethnicity at the expense of others? And again, that's partly, I think, what's remarkable about Andréa, right? Is the extent to which, being of Sassou Nguesso's ethnicity, he's been willing to fight for change.
We help the media, we help to understand. And for the people on the ground, we help them, for example, if there is a human right violation case, We collect the testimony, we put it in a format that is understandable for the big media, and we push it with the mass mailing to the journalists, to the big platform, and then they cover the story. If it was not for our advocacy and our way to push forward, most of the time there is no coverage of Congo-Brazzaville.
Hey Andrea, how you doing? Been a while.
We've worked on a number of stories together, including a series of films that were really trying to show how kleptocracy was affecting everyday people. And we focused on maternal health care in Congo-Brazzaville, and hospitals just did not have equipment, they did not have beds. Women were forced to kind of give birth on the floor. You know, this is like such a stark image, and so the effects of that enrichment on a grand scale by a small elite has a massive effect on the ground for ordinary people.
Sur le plan politique, il n'y a plus d'opposition au Congo-Brazzaville. Tous les pouvoirs, tous les partis en place sont corrompus, jusqu'à la moelle. On façonne des oppositions, au point où on ne sait même plus quels sont les partis intègres.
If you are not corrupt in Congo, you are a bad guy. And if you are corrupted, people praise you, even your family can praise you. Stealing is a national sport in Congo.
Andréa has estimated that the Sassou Nguesso family has stolen as much as 3 billion euros. I mean, so Sassou Nguesso's Congo is like the epitome of kleptocracy.
Andréa, il incarne le changement que les Congolais ont besoin pour le Congo de demain.
There is a need for more people like Andréa, so I think he's very aware of trying to encourage and skill up other people who can help him return Congo-Brazzaville to democracy.
You know, and my hope is that Andréa will at some point be able to return and help the country recover. But it's difficult to imagine that at the moment.